Hey everyone, welcome to my channel, welcome to another stream and part 2 working on our new Gundam Wing Zero. Let's get started. As I just said, Wing Zero Gundam, this is a master grade, the Ver.Ka edition of our Zero Gundam from the Endless Waltz series, and we're continuing on. Last time we got the body built, that's this guy right there, he's all assembled, and so this time we're going to be working on the head. So here's our head. We're going to give this guy some head, and he's going to be happy about it, and because yeah, who wants to walk around without a head, right? So anyway, let's see. I'll change the camera and we can get going right away on this. Let's see here. Boom. Okay. So, looking at the instructions here, here's our head. We're just going to start working on building his face and all that good stuff. So I'll just put this here. Actually, I'll leave this like this. Of course, I got my God Hand nippers and my lovely razor glass file. So we're going to go with our B tree, we're going to B1, and then our A tree also. So let's put my F and trees away. So we want A30. It's this funny little guy right here. I did notice last time I was having a tendency of working more over on this side, so I moved my camera angle just a little bit to to kind of keep it a little more centered when I'm actually working on this stuff. B1 number 1 is our faceplate. Very very common Gundam pieces. Face plates and our little chin piece. It's kind of like, it's not a Gundam if it doesn't have these parts. This is going to insert in here kind of a little T position like this, I believe. This, that. See, the little chin should stick out in the bottom like that, right? Okay, that's done. I'm going to move over to F1. We want our F tree and M6. F, number 14, this guy here. They're warning you about what to trim on this. We don't want to trim too close. It looks like there's these little wings coming off the sides here. I don't know if I'm actually supposed to cut those or not. It doesn't really show them there. We'll see what happens when I try to assemble this. Next we need off of our M tree, number 6. M is a new sprue. I'm not sure which one that is. Oh no, it's not new. M is a clear one. M is a clear one. Number 6. Admittedly, sometimes these parts get such small little pieces on them that it can be a little bit difficult when you're cutting them off the sprue. Whether you're supposed to trim that little part off or if you're supposed to keep it. Okay, so this guy, they don't show an order of operations here. Oh, we got decal that's got to go on. So we've got to determine which is up on this guy. So we've got our typical Gundam eyes. Or you could say, you know, technically in the shows, the eyes of the suit are the cameras that the pilot sees out of. So that's going to go right here. The trick is to try and get it centered. It can be a little tricky sometimes. You always have the option, if you're into painting it all, you could paint it. I have yet to come across a Gundam kit where I felt like it would be better if I painted the eyes or cameras. So I don't mind doing this. His face is going to go on right here. So I locate the pins where it's supposed to go in. Like that. Let's get it lined up. It should snap into place when it's lined up. Of course, I have it a bit crooked. I gotta get this pin lined up there. Sometimes I've found so far in this kit, some pieces are really tight fits. I've got a little bit of a gap here, but I don't on this side. It's a little crooked. I might have to grab my pliers and convince this guy to go together, because it doesn't want to go. Back off. Again, it's just this side doesn't want to go. Oh, we got it. All right, we got it this time. All right, there we go. So now his top piece, this is supposed to go in on top here. You don't, oh, I'm mistaken. It's supposed to go, I went through all that trouble. I've got to take his face mask off. There is an order of operation, and that they didn't really tell me. Or they did. You know what? They did, and I'm dumb. The number 1 right here and the number 2. I'm supposed to put this down on top of his face mask first. Like this. And also kind of looks weird having these extra little things sticking out, so I'm going to trim those off. Something didn't look right about that. So let's put this back in. All right. There we go. Well, that gives him a little bit of a nose. This guy's a little nose there. Okay, moving on. Off of our B tree again, B number 3 and 2, and then we need M3. B1, number 2 and 3. basically the two sides of his helmet. And then we got to find M3. M, of course, is the clear. It's 2, 3, this big piece here. Another clear piece. A lot of the clear pieces so far, they want me to put the stickers on. But I don't see any, it's not telling me to put any on. Usually there is, like they say to put a sticker like this part back here at the back of the helmet. Usually there's some kind of a thing, or like right here at the front. So it's kind of interesting they're not calling out any stickers. Maybe we put them on after it's assembled. I guess we'll find out. We've got undergated on here. I'm actually encountering this undergating quite a bit on this kit. They're really doing a good job at making sure your nub marks are not seen at all by undergating a lot of this stuff. This is actually quite rare. I haven't seen that a lot on the Gundam kits. Yeah, they do a few, but I'm just saying I've seen this a lot more on this kit in comparison. So we got to find, what is this? This is his face. But they got it upside down. This is gonna go. Where's our little slot? This goes this direction, and then slots in on his top of his head like this. So he's got a clear mohawk, and then we take this side of his helmet and it's going to go like this. That, and then I'm going to make a bit of a sandwich. Make sure your big peg in the back lines up. There we go. Starting to make his football helmet. And you see they didn't undergate this side, so I've got a nut to clean up. They undergate the one side but not the other. It's kind of weird. That's okay. Okay, moving on. F1 number 15, it says tightly fit the parts as far as they'll go. Isn't that the general rule of thumb? I think it is. And again, this is now the second time I've seen that in this book, which tells me this is kind of going to be a loose fit. We're also going to get these guys out here, but we've got to build one of them off of our B and K and A. B, K, and A. So A29, 35, 29 here. There's 29. And then we need B. B1 number 4. This guy here. two other Ver.Ka versions of the Gundams that I've built. One was the Sazabi, and that was a fun build. The Sazabi is such a big kit. That was a fun build. I didn't really do anything custom on it other than just painting it with a flat clear, just to make it look a little more military-esque. It's a shame it didn't get enough screen time. The Sazabi is a pretty cool mobile suit. Next, K1, K tree. Where is K? H, J, K. That's L. K. K1 is the light blue. We want number 2. Number 2 is this guy. There we go. Okay, so we need to kind of put these together. This one in this position, we're going to take that A and like this, put it through here, so kind of in this orientation. Oh, I think I see. Like that. At least I think so. And then it goes on to this. Have that backwards. Goes like that. So I think that's how it's supposed to go. This might not be in the right orientation. At this part, I'm not 100% sure. They show this like that, and this like that, but it doesn't seem to really line up. So I'll just put it like this for now, and we'll see how that looks in a minute. We have this part. This is the part supposed to go in on here, and slide that down through, I guess, if it'll go. Through like that. Okay. That gives him his little cap. And then we got to do this. So that we have this guy assembled like so. And he's supposed to go in on this bottom part like this. Like that. I guess that allows for some pivot. And we got L1 number 2. Number 2 is this guy. We're going to be repeating this all for the other side of his head. So this is our learning side. We figure out how it all fits together. I got some unfortunate stress mark on my little fin here that no matter how much I try and clean up, it's going to stay there forever because it stressed the plastic when I cut it off the sprue. I can try and fake it and say, hey, that's supposed to be like that, and do the exact same thing on the other side. This one slides in right up above it, like this. Well, that's kind of cool. They kind of fit together. Sort of kind of fit together like that. Okay, that's this. Next, exactly what I thought. We're going to do it all again, but for the other side. So once again, that guy. And then we needed this piece. What else do we need? We needed K1 number 1, that's this, B1 and A28. A28 is this guy. And then B1 number 4, this guy. Okay. Cleaned up perfect, no problem there. Yeah, same deal on this one. I got my nub mark that he's not going to go away. So all I can do is smooth that down. In the grand scheme of things, not going to see it anyway, so it doesn't really matter. It doesn't matter. It's fine. It's fine. Sometimes these things come off the sprue so clean, it's really hard to find the nub. Okay, and then we have this guy. This is garbage. Don't. Okay, so this goes on here. Like that. And then this piece goes on here. This way around. This will slide in on that side of his head. That. And then this one will go in here. And we can tilt it up and get them lined up. So he's got basically one big ear. And there we go. Bingo. Just like that. Okay. We got decal. Now we're putting decals on. See, there we go. I knew we would. I knew we had to put stickers on. Number 1 and 2 and 4. So I'm going to get these peeled up a little bit here. 2, and I need number 4. This one. Come on. There. Okay, number 1. Number 1 goes down here. Like that. Number 2 goes up top here. 4 goes on the back. Number 4 goes back here. Yeah, up here. Like that. Okay. A4 and F13. One, 3, 4. And then F. 13. Rounding off the top of his it's kind of, they have some elements on these Gundam helmets that kind of reminiscent of, like, you know, those old Roman soldiers where their helmets looked like they had big brushes on the top of them. That's what it reminds me of. I don't know if that's where the original guy took his inspiration from when designing the helmets for these Gundams, but it seems like it. It seems like that could possibly have been a bit of his inspiration on that. Because this is going to go on top here in this direction. A little slots going in. Is that right? Yes, it is. Just like that. And then this is going to go on the front. Like that. Bingo. That's it there. Whoops, there we go. And of course we have our little green guy in the back there, looking all nice. Yep. Okay. And that's it for the head. The head's done. Now eventually the head will go on here. Doink. But it looks to me like there might be more involved in that than this just snapping on there. It's a little weird. So we're going to look at the arms. I already have one arm built. Okay. There's one arm built. And this guy slides up and down. I have chosen his splayed out hand fingers. It bends. You can do a full crunch on the arm. Full squeeze. Like that. Bingo. Arm folds totally. Okay. So I already have this top half already built on here. Okay. This is actually upside down. It goes like that. Okay. I have that already assembled. And this is just simple. There's this piece here, this piece that goes in here, and then you sandwich them. That gives you your sandwich here with our inner gray parts, and then 2 white parts and 2 white parts, and that's how you get his little elbow. Okay. And that's it. Very simple. This is kind of a shoulder piece where you just literally have this gray piece here and these two go on each side, and that's all this is. That's all that is. Okay. So I have his right arm finished. So we're going to start on his left arm. This whole section is the right arm. See, this is where we're building his shoulder up here. And we do ×2 and then ×2. And then you got his elbow, and that's ×2, and that's it. So that's commonality between the two arms is right here, here, and here. Okay. And then we start with the right arm. This is now finished. Okay. I've done this. So we're going to do the left arm now. Okay. Now just bear with me a moment. So I gotta check a message. Alright, so off of our B tree, we need number 6 and 7. So let's grab those first. So these guys here. And 7, it's those two. Okay, these two guys here. We're going to need G25 and I-31. Pardon me, I've got a frog in my throat. G25 and then I-31. I-31 is this little rectangular block right there. Okay, so as you guys saw, this is just kind of an internal part, so we just need to clean up the nubs and make sure it's clean. Same with this guy, just make sure that nub is clean there. You don't really see most of these parts. You do see the edge of this, but there's no nub on there anyway, so it doesn't matter. Then we have these guys, and you do have nubs, and you got some little bit of cleanup to do on them. So I just like to make sure my edges are clean. Especially this one, because this is kind of a little groove that's exposed on the arm, and I like to make sure those are nice and clean and they look nice. This one, this is not really going to be seen, it gets covered, but you want to make sure it's clean. Okay, so we'll take this guy and put in our little block up here, like that. We take this guy and we're going to have this section stick out through this hole. Okay, so it's going to go in kind of like this, with this hole facing down. So it kind of goes like this, like that. So you see how it's going to come through here. Once you get your angle right, it kind of slots in there nice and tight, just like that. And then we put the other half together. All lined up, make a little sandwich, just like that. Okay, and that's that. And that's going to finish this page. Nice and quick, right? That was easy. Okay, we're going to finish off his arm here, and then I'm going to call it a day. We're going to grab our F2 number 4. This, of course, is undergated on 3 sides, and so it takes a little bit of cleaning up on the undergates. Okay, so I'll show you 3 spots where you have to trim right here, and here, and here. It's a little bit tricky. You want to get it smooth so that it fits nice. It's nice they undergate it so you're not going to see the nubs, but I mean, if there was a nub here that I had to use my file on, that wouldn't be a big issue, I don't think. Now in my fitting on the other part, this does only go one way. Let's see if I get it right the first time. Hey, I did. I found the other one, when I tried to put it on a different way, it wouldn't fit down quite tight, right? So with that done, and this done, and this done, we're going to put them all together. So we want to have them in the right direction. They do point out direction wise on here, so I want to hold this in the same direction in the picture, and then put this like this, down like that, in the top, nice and tight. And then this one, I'm going to have it in this direction like that, just like this. Bingo. Okay. Now we're going to grab our K tree, number 6 and 7. K6 and 7, it's these two here. There we go. And we'll clean these up. Now, I notice you don't really see very much on these when I assembled them before, so I don't think you really have to worry about seeing the nubs too much on these parts, but just in case, I like to try and clean them up as nice as I can, especially on this little tip right there. So, oops, wrong arm. I'm going to take this, and this is going to go like that, and then this one's going to go right on the other side. Lock it in, lock them together like that. It kind of slides up and down, but it has a limit, right? It stays there. They show it on this little picture here. This is done. Now we're going to grab A23. This guy right here. And then we're going to have some assembling to do. We need A39, which is this little piece here. And then we need M2, which is clear, and then we need L2 number 14. L2 number 14 just happened to be sitting here staring at me, so I'll grab this one. Okay. And then I need off of a clear M tree. We need this guy here. Now what I'm going to do, because I already know, having done this arm already, I know I got to put a sticker on there, and that's right there. I'm just going to do that right now while it's still on the sprue, just because I found after it was off the sprue, it was a little bit, I was having a little bit of trouble determining which side was the flat side, and with it on the sprue, it's a little bit easier. Right? I can determine right now that's the flat side, and that's just got to go right there like that, and that's done. There we go. Okay, let's clean these up real quick. This one we got more undergating. So let's just clean up these little nubs right there, there, there. Okay. See, they do a really good job of trying to make sure you don't have to clean up nubs on the outsides, on the outside edge, and that's nice. But some of these parts, I don't think it's really necessary for them to be so concerned about that. But then maybe that's what makes this the Ver.Ka, is the fact that they do that undergating a lot and do it a lot more than you would see on another kit. Okay, so this cleaned up. This is going to be like this, and this guy's going to go in. Put that in there like this, and then so it's sticking out. And then M2 is going to go right in there and just kind of sit there like that. Okay, and now we're going to put them on. So we go on this side. This guy mat goes in right there, and then this guy going this direction goes in up top. Just like that. Okay. And again, you still have your motion. It slides up and down. I have a nub that I forgot to clean off, which means I forgot to clean it off on the other side too. Okay, there's that. Now we're going to build his hand. Off of our E tree, we want E1 and something else. Okay, there's 19. This is basically the palm of his hand, or the inner palm anyway. And then we got to get a finger. Sorry, not a finger. This is his thumb. And then we're going to choose a hand here. We have 3 different options. I think I want to do the trigger hand. So this is going to be his. This is his left arm. So I got to give him a left hand. I think I'm going to do this one. So he can hold his gun. And of course, at any time afterwards, you can always choose a different hand, whatever fingers you want. Now I also need, off of the B tree, I need B1 number 10, which is basically the back side of his hand. I think it's the exact same mold on every single Gundam. For this particular part, I've seen that on every single one. Again, they have this undergated in there on that particular spot, and yet they don't undergate the sides. So you have to clean it up. So I find that a little bit strange, but whatever. There's always that one joint needs to be cleaned up nice. I've discovered you don't really notice it until you go to paint it. Okay, this is going to slide in on the back like this, just like that. Then you're going to line up your hole, put that on like that, nice and tight. Okay, that's going to lock his thumb into place so that it doesn't move. And then you just take this. I want to make sure my finger joints are clean. Including this little piece that's going to go into this slot. That slot right there. You're just going to put that in there like that. And there you go. So now he's got a trigger finger. And then all you got to do is put that in here. It should snap in. There we go. See, that came out. No problem. Because these are supposed to be interchangeable to whatever you want. You want to change his hands out for a different pose, that's totally up to you. Use this to get in there. Just press it in tight. There we go. And there's his hand. Just like that. And that's his arm. Okay? And that's where we're going to leave it for now, guys. that's where I'm going to leave it for today. So we already know eventually this is going to go up here on his shoulder. It'll be one hand, and this will be his other hand on his other shoulder. But I think there's a lot more going on that's going to be going on here, considering they've got the next step is the upper body, and so that looks like he's going to have his shoulder pads going on there. I call them shoulder pads. That's what they look like. Looks like he's a football player wearing his great big shoulder pads. But yeah, that's where I'm going to leave it for today. We got 2 arms built. We got his head built. We are moving along pretty quickly. Next is going to be what they're calling his upper body, and I'm calling them his shoulder pads. It's the same thing, really. And so I want to thank you guys for watching, and thanks for coming out. I know not a lot of you are watching this particular build. That's okay. I'm perfectly fine with that. This particular build has a special place in my heart because this guy was given to me by my girlfriend for my birthday, and so yeah, I'm really excited to do this one. Anyway, hit that like button, hit subscribe, leave a comment down below. There'll be some links to my other online stuff like my Instagram, my Twitch channel, all that kind of stuff. Let me know what you think. Follow me on those too, and I guess we'll see you all in the next one.